within a couple of days, there was a veteran outside like a deli that a Muslim guy worked at, and he was telling people not to go in there because the guy was, like a Muslim guy working in a deli, like, a food from The Simpsons. So the official story, like, before everyone was declared, like, on the news about Bin Laden, it was already, like, circulated on the street.
Ooh, hold up. This is some hot new fucking 9/11 information. I've never heard this. I've heard every shit about 9/11. This man is speaking to us straight from New York City. He was right there on 9/11. A young man, he ain't no old man. He has a clear memory. Again, take it very slowly. You're saying before, on the day of 9/11, or let's say, was it a few hours after it occurred? Like 1 hour that they were already spreading the information?
I think later on, like around 5 o'clock, after.
When did 9/11 occur? It was like early in the morning, though.
Yeah, that was around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then.
So you're saying 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, there were already like word on the street. People were like telling people on the street like it was Muslims who did it.
Yeah.
Who was spreading the information, man? I know the answer, Jews. But who do you know? Was it from television or what? Where did this information come from?
I guess it was like a general pre-programming that happened. That maybe somebody on the news mentioned that, it could have been terrorists, but it's not yet been, it's not been clarified. Certain. But everybody sort of had that feeling that it's definitely probably were terrorists and Osama bin Laden.
As somebody from lived in New York City, they have something called pre-programming. In the days before 9/11 occurred, did y'all hear a lot of was there a lot of in the newspaper or on television, or maybe just you're walking the street? Were they talking about Islam or Muslims and terrorism a lot before 9/11 occurred?
Well, not that week before, but I would say within 6 months prior, they definitely would pay attention on the news more to sort of, the terror of Bin Laden, the whole coal situation. Maybe some news came out about the coal attack, about Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda was definitely in the psyche of New York. Because I'm telling you, there was definitely a lot of veterans from Vietnam and Gulf War drunk off their ass on one of the main streets, and there were definitely there were no Muslims. You would not see any Muslims on that day. Muslims stayed home that day and maybe that whole week. You wouldn't see no ladies in the burqas or anything like that. Or any guys with turbans.
I know that you're just saying, but we got a focus a little bit more on pre-programming. So you're saying it was 6 months before they did the pre-programming, really hard. But
the whole pre-programming thing, all the movies in the 90s were, if you look at them, were all big explosions with, Die Hard, was it 1 or 2, with the building. It was definitely being pre-programmed with explosions, I would say the most. And you have to remember that they replayed the footage of the planes hitting, I would say even more than the buildings collapsing.
Okay, to get the meme, the meme.
Started. Yeah, that they killed people that were not only on the planes but also the people that were inside the towers, and then the whole thing falling down. And pointing out that a lot of firefighters died on that day. So, the people that, supposed to save, the victims or whatever, they were hit, a double hit.
Okay, so, but I gotta go back to pre-programming. As a New Yorker, man, high school kid, I'm saying okay, maybe not a week before, let's say 2 weeks, a month, at least let's say a month. Did you get a lot more activity, television talking shit about Muslims and Islam or terrorism or Osama, or newspapers, or just when you're walking on the street, do you hear people when you walk by somebody talking? They're not, Osama bin Laden, Al Qaeda, blah blah blah. Just like what was it like? I'm trying to like see like did they try to heat up things like try to get the word so people would like that'd be the first thought that would come in their mind as soon as 9/11 occurred.
I definitely can't look back at 2 weeks prior to 9/11, but I can tell you that maybe within that summer there was definitely a lot of not on the street. I wouldn't say there was anything going on the street level. Maybe on the news cycle.
Okay, so it was like government media was pumping out the message, but it wasn't really it was
local. I wouldn't think that. No.
Okay, I thought maybe like there was. I had this idea maybe there was like actually like people like CIA agents running around like on the street like getting people to talk about it beforehand. I don't know. It was like one of the things I always thought about. Like that's how like they got like all this stuff interested. Man, I tell you, man, it was very fascinating speaking to you, Senor Matros. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we end the show? Do you have any final statements?
No, like, what do you think is going to happen with the whole 2012? You think they're going to pull the plug on the States?
I say 2012, man. My personal opinion, I don't believe in this shit, but like, it's pretty obvious, like the people who control us, the Illuminati, they do. So yeah, I definitely think my personal predictions for like 2012 are they're going to turn off the internet because they have to turn off the internet. Whatever they're going to fucking do, whatever you could think of, like biological warfare, mass culling, I don't know, stock market crash, wars. The most important thing is they can't have that fucking internet on because if there's internet, we're going to like fucking destroy their plans like we always do. Would you not agree, Matros? The internet has to be turned off.
Yeah, I think the internet is one factor that they couldn't really calculate with everything. I think they've been trying to slow it down, but the progression of information flow is just overwhelming them. And with the whole hacking attacks, the anonymous and LOL sec, I think they're definitely going to do it. And they're going to blame, whoever they're going to blame. But they did shut off electricity in New York City, I think in 2003 for a couple of days, and I can tell you it was definitely mayhem. So I think the internet is going to be connected like to a power grid, and it might be like a massive hack attack that incorporates shutting down the internet.
But then later on, as soon as the internet's off, then they could do anything they feel like, because then we'll basically all be fucked. I mean, I'm being perfectly honest with you. I mean, what the fuck we're going to do if we don't have the internet? Basically, we have to go run out on the street and like try to talk to people. Say, do you know what the fuck happened? I don't know what the fuck's happening. Maybe he knows what the fuck's happening. You know what I mean? It would be like Stone Age shit.
Joe, that's exactly what happened on when they turned the electricity off in New York City for like 2-3 nights. It was middle of summer, and everybody was out on the streets, and that was the whole thing. Like, do you know what's going on? Like if there were just cops, trying to direct traffic.
I understand. That's what the fuck's gonna happen on 2012. Matros, I gotta say thank you, man. It was a great show. I do hope you come back. Maybe bring a friend and stuff. And I had a good time talking to you.
I'll bring Smitty, my doorman.
That'd be fucking. Tell Smitty Joe Blow would fucking love to have his ass on the show. Okay, right. People. Man, see you, man. Bye bye, Smitty. I was about to call you Smitty. Bye bye, Matros.
See ya. Adios, Smitty. Some final thoughts.
I want to talk about some final thoughts, before the show ends, because like I said, now I've discussed a lot of things, I've done a lot of work, and it seems like it's about that level where instead of doing things passively, I have to be a little more aggressive in real life. So this could possibly very last Joe Blow conspiracy show. So I'm going to talk about why did the show begin? And, basically it was like this. I was at Conspiracy Central, and I was getting sick of seeing Jewish lies, Jewish propaganda, Jewish disinformation. And I just said this time nobody else is doing anything about it, denouncing it. So I said I'm gonna denounce it. Originally it wasn't even going to be that much of an anti-Zionist show, because it's because of the anti-Zionism. I got lots of shit because of the show. It was gonna just be a regular conspiracy show, just me once in a while, come on, talk bullshit, and make fun of people, and I never really, I learned a lot through going through this thing. I've learned a lot about audio engineering, radio business. I've actually been on radio before because of the show, real life. So it's quite a few times, and so I could say I am a radio host now after all this time. All these years of doing this show. But it has been given it to me it has really fucked up my personal life. I don't know. I hope I've done some good in the world, with this, just babbling, and I don't even. There's so many other people who sound so much more better and more intelligent than I am. That's why I don't know why people are so focused on and taking the show so seriously. It's one of the strangest things for me, because people tell me it's this you have the worst radio show I've ever heard. When's the next one? Everybody even hates the show. They want to know Joe, why don't you do more shows? I don't really. That don't make a lot of sense to me. Since it might be the last show, I just want to say a little funny somethings. When I was a child, we all have little nicknames. My particular nickname was Yogi, as in the bear, because I used to walk around like a bear, hurry, hurry, boo, boo, But later, I got older, asking the other name because, my other name, because, I used to get in trouble all the time, and it seems as though it's been kind of how do you call it? A part of who I am. Every time I go somewhere, it's it starts off all real nice and happiness, but then slowly it starts getting worse and worse, and then bad and bad, and basically I destroy everything, anything I touch, you could say. Maybe you've actually seen this occur quite a few times, even on the internet. But it's of course I don't enjoy this. I'd rather just be like every other normal person. That's why the other name I started getting was, maybe you're not going to understand what this means, but I don't care. Tahrib. Yeah. Okay, well, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode of the Joe Blow Conspiracy Show, and Khuda Hafiz. See you guys. Bye-bye.
وقتی برات نخواهد